Welcome to another episode of Let's Warp Off with Kevin. If you don't like it, you can go warp yourself. My name is Kevin, and today we'll be talking about Star Trek Discovery, Season 2, Episode 5, Saints of Imperfection. What is going on with the Mycelial Network and May? Again, is the Mycelial Network or is it the Upside Down from Stranger Things? I'm not quite sure. I got a little confused on that a little myself. What is, again, the deal with Section 31? And again, what kind of technology they have, and what is going on, again, with all of, again, the return of Hugh Culper? Well, stick around and find out. So, we start off with the episode with the voiceover from Michael Burnham saying she wants to have faith, but in its absence, only duty remains. And I feel like that is sort of a big sort of theme of Season 2, is the same notion of maybe possibly dealing with faith or belief. And when she said that line, she said she wants to have faith, I wanted to scream at the television and say, faith of the heart! No one's gonna bend or break me! That's what I really wanted to happen. But alas, that would obviously not work for numerous reasons. So again, we start off and continue with the episode of they seem to appear to find Spock's shuttle, and they are trying to go after it, and Pike uses sort of his cowboy diplomacy by shooting a torpedo kind of near the area and kind of exploding up to the side, and of course they get to the shuttle, and what do they find? No, not Spock. Yet again, we now see Georgiou pop out. Again, finding out that no, it is indeed Georgiou working with Section 31 and trying to, again, to find Spock and sort of to track him down. So then we have a scene where we go in sort of this other office and we see Pike talking to Leland from Section 31, and it appears sort of they've sort of been old friends, sort of acquaintances, and they kind of argue and go back and forth about, Section 31 versus the Federation. And meanwhile, this is all happening. Georgiou is sort of eating on kind of an apple. It's very like, Garden of Eden-esque sort of thing going on, perhaps, with sort of the fruit and the garden. Or even a reference within Star Trek itself to Kirk eating an apple in Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, perhaps. And even J.J. Kirk, I think, did it as well in 2009. So I don't know if it's a reference to that or Garden of Eden reference, but kind of showing she maybe is the serpent, doing some sort of devilishly nasty things. And yeah, great little exchange between them. And again, also showing that Pike doesn't really know that this is the Mirror Universe Georgiou. He doesn't know that she's from the Mirror Universe. He mentions that, like, oh yeah, we used to drink and used to do everything by the book. He doesn't seem to be aware of the fact at all, and Michael seems to be hiding it from him. And I think Pike knows this as well. He's suspecting that Michael might be hiding a secret from him. So again, I think he might figure out that he is, she is from the Mirror Universe at some point, I think. And it's going to be sort of a big revelation to him, I think, when he finds out that his former friend is not who she thinks she is, but instead is an evil Mirror Universe counterpart. So I'm very excited to see maybe how that progresses in the future. We also get to find out and see that Section 31 has placed a liaison on the ship in the form of Ash Tyler. So again, there's a lot of people are giving looks and exchanges, like, whoa, he's back on the bridge, kind of a scene. And, Ash Tyler sort of explains, everyone at Section 31 thinks of it as a place where they make sense. So, which I took it being, so Section 31 is like a covert Cheers, where everyone knows your code name? I think that might be sort of what he might be implying there. And it'll be interesting to see, again, Ash Tyler's now the liaison. Is he going to stick around? How long is he going to stick around to Discovery for? Again, is he going to go back with Section 31 crew, or is he going to stay on there for quite some time being? I don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out in the future. So Stamets is then now laying out his plan to track down Tilly in the Mycelial Network by using the GPS on the organic transporter cocoon that May left behind. And to rescue her, all they have to do is basically partially jump into the spore jump with the USS Discovery into the Mycelial Network, partially, again, sort of kind of like a doorstop, kind of a wedge between sort of the two worlds, and that's sort of all they have to do. And again, I really liked seeing the visual of that when they finally do get to do it, the visual of the Discovery kind of partially going in halfway, and again, I really thought it was a really cool visual to see as well. So we see that within the mycelial network, that May's sort of former paradise, again, maybe bringing back to the Garden of Eden, kind of parallel from earlier, has sort of been corrupted, and she brought Tilly in the mycelial network basically to save her or them sort of from this monster that's sort of maybe killing things in the network by this evil sort of black bark that's sort of taking over. So again, lovely visuals with the mycelial network. I love the way it looks. Again, my mind, I was thinking a little bit of the Upside Down, a little bit from Stranger Things. That was sort of what my mind went to a little bit. I don't know if it went for you as well. But again, I just love the way it looks. Really cool design. This is where things, I think, really start to get kind of interesting, kind of crazy, maybe a little weird. But isn't that always the case when Star Trek has basically resurrected anybody on the show, as it seems? So this Dr. Hugh Culber is real, and he's been reconstituted by the network based on his energy, which flowed into the network through Stamets, who was still partially connected in his semi-fugue state when he held Culber as he was dying in the season 1 episode, The Wolf Inside. And if that, isn't confusing for you enough, then I don't know what is. But I think this is a very interesting moment for Star Trek fans, because back in season 1, there was a lot of uproar about Hugh Culber dying. Initially, there were a lot of fans that were very upset that Star Trek introduced a gay couple, and they sort of immediately, within a few episodes, killed off him very quickly. There was a lot of uproar on the internet about that. It was a very big thing. And now that Discovery has sort of brought Hugh back, I'm very happy about it. I think it's really great. But I could see also some people being very upset about it. Maybe that they have brought a character back from the dead. Maybe they should have stuck to what they were doing and keep him dead. But I wonder if there will be some sort of consequence for that in the future. Maybe things aren't all as they seem with the mycelial network. Perhaps there will be some sort of repercussion for getting Hugh Culber back later on. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that progresses further. So as the Discovery team is going through more of the mycelial network, and they do find, Hugh Culber, they pretty much drop the truth bomb on May that basically, Hugh Culber has been protecting himself with the tree bark, and essentially of the Spore network, and they're basically trying to, the mycelial network is basically trying to, they're compelled to try and kind of hurt him, decompose him. So May sort of thought he was sort of the enemy, and in classic Star Trek fashion, no, he's not really the enemy. He's actually sort of trying to, once again, defend himself. So again, I like that. It's very classic Trek. Again, I always go back to The Devil in the Dark a little bit with the Horta. Again, that sort of reminded me of this. So like, no, Hugh isn't really the threat. It's actually the other thing. He's actually really defending himself, just like the Horta was. Like the Horta was defending herself. So I thought it was a nice little parallel there. And then sort of we have in the scene where sort of Discovery is getting lost. The mycelial network is getting pushed, and everything's getting worried. Who comes to the rescue? It's Section 31 to the rescue with all their flashy, new, high-tech gadgets. Let's see. Let's list off sort of what they have here, shall we? Of their new gadgets, they have the ship, camouflage ship that has this asteroid and goes together. So it's the second that they have are neat, nifty tractor beams. They have 1, 2, 3 little tractor beams, zooming them all in. And then what do we see? We see who calls them in Ash Tyler. Ash Tyler has the comm badge, but what does he do? He hits it. He hits it on his chest. Now, where have we seen that before? Oh, that's right. Star Trek The Next Generation. Star Trek The Next Generation. So in this era, they should be having communicators. They should be having communicators, flip phone style communicators and talking. But Ash Tyler has a very advanced next-gen-esque communicator. So again, Section 31 seems to have very advanced technology, and I'm wondering sort of how that's going to play out. Like, what more do they have? And how does maybe they incorporate that technology into the Federation, perhaps? I thought it was really cool seeing Pike is very baffled. He's like, what kind of communicator is that? So I thought that was a very cool scene showing off all the cool gadgets that Section 31 has at their disposal. Network, and they're gonna get free, and they're gonna get Culber out. It seems like maybe he can't quite get through, and it's a very sad, touching moment, and then he might have to say goodbye to him, and, and once again, it's kind of like from last week, sort of with Saru, where we sort of thought Saru might be dying, but they kind of pull a little fast when they switch around a little bit, and Tilly then is able to explain. She kind of comes through with some, science, basically pointing out that they can mushroom beam him using the cocoon, and that will turn him back basically into a real person. And the price, though, to be paid by doing this, though, is by cutting off the only link between May and Tilly's worlds, leading to a lot of, again, hugging and then crying, and Tilly's very sad to see sort of her friend go, and it's a nice little scene there. And, you know, all this tension is sort of building up, and sort of at the end of the episode, we see Culber sort of emerge from the cocoon, and in a very Terminator-esque style pose. He's all kind of crinkled up there. That's kind of reminded me of, it was almost like it was Terminator almost. So again, Hugh Culber does seem to be really back for reals. He seems to be really back now onto the ship. Will he go back to being a doctor like he was in season 1? Is he going to have a big part to play? Or what are we going to do with Hugh Culber this season? So as we're getting sort of the last scene, we see Admiral Katrina Cornwall sort of chide, you know, Leland and Pike basically for not getting along and trying to bring them together. And you're talking, going, hey, we have to work together to sort of find Spock, you know, to find Spock, so you got to put aside your differences for now. And they sort of make up sort of an apologize and kind of all that. And then essentially we see the end where we see a nice montage of everything sort of going back into place. And we see sort of maybe the storyline kind of arc sort of wrap up. And Michael sort of at the very end, basically says that there's a guiding hand. I hope it leads us into the right direction. And I think that sort of is it's a nice tie into the first voiceover, how she started and kind of end. It's a nice little opener, kind of bookend, kind of circles together. I really like that and appreciated it as well. So overall, Saints of Imperfection is a really good, I think, again, it's able to close sort of this first arc out. And I really think it's sort of showing its general improvements for the show. Again, continuing to improve the second season by wrapping up, again, and continuing furthering these more storylines throughout the show, even though we didn't get really too much continuation of the Red Angel and Spock storylines. I really sort of appreciated the little horror element as well, which has always been a little bit a part of Trek ever since really the first Trek episode, The Man Trap from TOS. And sort of that element. So again, I really sort of like the nature of the continuing further improvement of the storylines, and we have the mixture of Section 31 and, you know, the Mycelial Network. And again, the Mycelial Network sort of story seems to be done for now. I don't know if we'll get back to it or not, but it seems like they're sort of wrapping up and closing it, which I think now for the rest of the season we'll now get back to and focusing on the Spock Red Angel storyline. Although, again, I do enjoy the preview for the next episode, which does seem to be more of a Saru-focused episode. So I am actually looking forward to that as well. So maybe we'll get more to it. Maybe the Red Angel Spock stuff in episode 7, perhaps. I don't know. But again, I think it's a pretty solid episode. Great furthering the storylines. Love all the character connections between, you know, Michael and Tilly and May and all of that. So again, I think it's been really good stuff. Again, a pretty good season, second season of Discovery that I'm really pleased with. So yeah, I think it's really fantastic. So yeah. And again, just want to make sure also, if you haven't, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe this link as well if you're so inclined. And also, I want to remind you as well that, right here, as my assistant has brought for me, little Kevin Con 2019 t-shirt that I'm selling as well. I'll be sure to put the URL in the show notes, but we are we're having a few more. We actually updated a few more designs. We have one with 2019 and then one without the year that's just Kevin Con. And also, we also have one that says Who is Kevin as well, with my little explanation on the back for people that may or may not know. And so yeah, and we're also getting some more merchandise out there as well. We're in the process, we're going to be developing maybe a sticker perhaps. We're developing a sticker and maybe some more merchandise down the road. So really appreciate your feedback on that a lot. Thank you all. We're hoping to continue more of that. So again, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all again next time. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.